YouTube, coming at you with another video from the Deception Stoppers. This video, we're going to talk about pro se. What does pro se mean? What does it mean to be pro se? And what are the incentives of being pro se? But first, before we get into that, I want to read a definition of pro se, as you guys can see here on the screen. Okay? All right. Pro se, for one's own behalf, in person, appearing for oneself, as in the case of one who does not retain a lawyer and appears for himself or herself in court. Pro se, I'm reading the bottom part. Latin for himself, a party to a lawsuit who represents himself acting in propria persona. Is appearing in the case pro se. Greetings, YouTube. How you guys doing? This is another video from Deception Stoppers.
Hello.
Mr. McCormick.
All constitutional rights invoked, none waived.
All right, so give you guys a definition of pro se at the beginning of this video. Like myself, I'm pretty sure a lot of you who are watching this video didn't know what pro se meant. I had no idea what pro se meant. Okay. Pro se, that is, I believe we had this conversation earlier. I strongly believe that lawyers is going to be a thing that's in the past. In the future, it's going to be, we're going to see more people becoming pro se. This channel, we're going to promote pro se because as time goes by, going through this legal stuff, we are realizing that being pro se is probably the best thing you can do when getting in a legal situation, because you don't have to worry about being robbed, being deceived, being lied to, what have you. So we're not going to, as we said before, we're not going to be giving you legal advice. It's up to you. We just want to let people know that being pro se is not a bad thing, and it's not something to be intimidated about. So we're going to just shed some light on some possibilities of what you can do as a pro se litigant, the incentives of being a pro se litigant. But we won't be giving you any legal advice, giving you details like you can do this, you need to do this, do that. We're not going to do that because that's not legal.
I'm going to weigh in. Contrary to popular belief, people believe that courtrooms are reserved for lawyers and judges. The courtroom was designed as a field for a person to go into to seek some type of remedy, but it was not designed for the sole and specific purposes of lawyers and judges. Okay, a lawyer is hired to do the legal work that you don't know about. So when you don't know the law, or you don't know how to interpret the law, or how to interpret what's going on with certain paperwork, then you call upon an attorney. Okay? Now, as we all know, monopolies are illegal. It's illegal to have a monopoly. So that would be a monopoly. If the courtroom was only reserved for lawyers and judges, then that would be a monopoly, and that would be illegal. So therefore, something has to exist called pro se. Pro se is just another fancy word with saying that you're your own lawyer. You are your own lawyer. You are exercising your own rights, you're standing up for your own rights, and you are seeking your own remedy for rights that were violated, for actions committed against you. So the courtroom is your platform that was put in place for you to seek a remedy for when your rights was abridged or when something happened to you. But pretty much a courtroom is not for judges and not for lawyers only. Okay? That's why pro se exists. Pro se exists because if you know the law or if you can learn it, then you can go in there and you can do what you gotta do. But the rules change. The rules change from jurisdiction to jurisdiction, and the you have something called the civil rules of procedure. Those change from city to city to state, and the counties have local rules. Then you have the federal rules of civil procedure. Then you have the federal rules of bankruptcy procedure. So you have those few different types of rules, and it's very important to know those rules and to learn them. But again, you're not supposed to feel intimidated by this stuff because see, that's how the bad guys get away with what they're doing because they're taking advantage of the small guys' ignorance in terms of the small guys. But pretty much, you don't need an attorney. You don't anything an attorney can handle. Anything an attorney can handle, you can handle on your own. If you can read and you can write, you can handle anything an attorney can handle. You can put together a trial. You can interpret the case law. You can do it all if you believe that you can. But if you believe that judges are dictators and lawyers are all these smart people, that's so smart. Oh, when I grow up, I want to be a lawyer. You think of you there if you're thinking that if you're thinking that same thing, then I mean you putting all your belief and all of your you're putting them on too high of a pedestal when you could do the same thing for yourself.
Exactly.
It's pretty much
Exact same thing. Like everything. They're only lawyers can do this. Pro se litigants, that's no. Everything a lawyer does, you can do as a pro se
but see,
litigant.
we get away from these things when we try to stick in with the status quo. Okay, what's happening every day? What's the norm? What's these norms that these people adapt to? It hurts us all because when we all try to seek the remedy that we need to seek in the way that in the way that it was designed, then we're denied because it's not enough people that's seeking it in that way. You see what I'm saying? So pro se is the best way. Pro se is the best way. I probably won't ever use a lawyer for nothing else ever again in my whole entire life. I don't care what it was.
Hmm. Yeah, and don't be intimidated. Like you'll hear some people say, because I remember when I first started getting into pro se litigation, I was telling some friends about it, and they would say, "Oh, I don't think that's a good idea. You shouldn't go pro se." Because they, again, as he was saying, it's their beliefs. They don't. Everyone believes that you should have an attorney. Everyone believes this, okay, because of the indoctrination. You don't need an attorney. Now, if you, like you said, if you can't read, if you had trouble reading, that right there, if you can't read, you may need to get yourself an attorney.
And when he says if you can't read, you may need to get yourself an attorney. Let me break that down for you so you understand that. A lot of people think they can read because they can just say this word, this word, this word, and they think that's reading. No, I just read. No. Reading, there's two parts to reading. You're gonna read and then you're gonna listen and internalize what you're reading. If you can't internalize what you just read, then yeah, you might need someone to help you internalize what you just read. Because some people can read all day and you'll say, okay, what did you just read? And they'll be like, they don't know. They don't know. They don't know because they haven't internalized it, and it doesn't mean that you're stupid or it doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you. Sometimes you have to just go back and read it over and over and over again. Just dig it, pull it all the way apart till there's no more parts to pull from it. Then you get the understanding you need to get the aha feeling, the one that makes you go, Oh, I understand that. You keep going until you meet that, until you get into that happy space, until you meet that happy moment that make you say, "Oh, okay, I know what that is."
Yeah, so don't be intimidated. Just believe in yourself. Believe that you can do that, and don't let anyone talk you out of becoming a pro se litigant. I'm telling you, when you're another, okay, one of the huge incentives of being pro se litigant is the fact that you won't be really spending money. You won't be spending any money. Okay, and I will put that as the second incentive. The first incentive is you have all your power. You have all your power. You don't have to worry about being lied to, being manipulated, you know. But if you go get an attorney, you don't. If I can get an attorney, I don't know what this attorney is doing. I don't know. They can be colluding with the judge, colluding with the opposing counsel, having ex parte community. I don't know. How would I know? You know, they got all my power. Then they're gonna come back to me and they're gonna try to scare me up and say, well, oh, this is happening, this happened. I'm telling you, we need to become pro se litigants. More people need to become pro se litigants. If you do that, I mean, can you imagine no one just imagine like everybody's going pro se. What would that do to them?
I think it would change the world in a lot of different ways because you have people not getting the justice that they should be getting simply because the lawyer is looking out for his best interests. The lawyer is looking out for his best interests. He has a family to feed. He has a career that he's trying to uphold. Now, if you want this lawyer to represent you and you're asking him to go up against judges that he has to remain in a courtroom for the life of his career and go up against attorneys that he have to work with for the life of his career. He's not going to do that. He's not going to risk. He's not going to put his life on the line. He's not going to put his integrity and his well-being on the line to represent you. Even if you're right, he's not going to do that. He's not going to put his meat and potatoes and his bread and butter on the line to defend you as a client. He's not going to do that because then he's going to be blackballed. Okay? He's going to get blackballed in that town, in that city, or whatever. So that's why it's important to understand. It's important, very important to understand that being a pro se litigant is going to give you all your liberty. None of you're not robbed of none of your liberties. Because when you hire an attorney, you're giving up some of your liberties to a degree because I mean you're trusting a stranger that you're paying a stranger and you're trusting them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So we're not gonna give you any legal advice, but I will say that just to put this information out there, when you're getting into this, make sure you have an understanding. I think I'm pretty sure he will probably agree. Understand domestic courts, federal courts, district courts. Um, what's that other court? There's another court, appeals court. What was that name? Appeals court.
Yeah, that's
But
it.
what was the name? It was another name for it. The one in Cincinnati.
Oh, circuit court.
Oh, circuit court.
Circuit court is going to be the court that's going to govern federal matters. Federal matters is going to any federal matters is appealed through a court called the circuit court. Each area has their own circuit. Like you have the Sixth Circuit that pretty much they handle things from Michigan for the state of Michigan, Kentucky, and Ohio, and Tennessee, and I think it's another state. But pretty much the circuit court is the court and that's going to govern the courts that's lower than that as
Mm-hmm.
far as the decisions and things of that nature.
So they have a lot of information online. You guys can, I mean, even if you go to the law library, they have a lot of stuff there as well. But definitely look into a pro se litigant. Do your research on it. Even if you're not in a legal situation, don't wait until you get in a legal situation and then try to oh, I'm about to be pro se litigant, because I'm telling you right now, it's a lot of work, and it's going to be a lot of work. It's going to be because you're going to have to research. You have to find precedent to your case, certain statutes, certain in the case not statute, case laws, all that stuff. It takes time, so don't wait until you get in a situation, unless you're a fast learner, then you could do that. But I will get equipped and just take some time out of your day, just look it up. Say, okay, I'm gonna start here. This information about pro se litigation. That's the best thing you can do. And then you may have some people in your family. You can help people in your family. You know, but going around, it's kind of risky if you're helping friends and strangers. That's going to be a problem, because it's not legal to give people legal advice. But yeah, I think that's it. Is there anything else you want to talk, like mention about pro se litigation?
No.
All right. So yeah, we just want to talk this. We just want to make this video talk a bit about, you know, pro se litigation, and we're gonna be talking about this a lot, on this channel, because we want to promote pro se litigation since we're pro se litigants. So that is it. If you guys have any questions, post below, and we will get back to you in the next video. We have a Q. Oh, actually, the Q&A video. I'm gonna have to go back and look and see what questions we have in that video. If you guys haven't seen that video, check out the Q&A video. If you have a question, post that question there in the description, and I don't keep saying description, in the comment section, and then we will answer your question in the next response video. So that is it. Thanks for viewing, and we will see you guys in the next video.
Ciao.
Peace out.